Hey guys, Brett here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017 Platinum Edition. Here we are at Estancia Lapacho for episode number 9. So last episode we did plant our forestry area up the top of the map up there at field 12. So I might do a few changes off camera. I'm thinking now that I've gone back up and have a look. It's been about 3 days after we've planned it so far in game, and the trees haven't grown at all. But I'm thinking I'm going to have to remove the fencing from around the outside because it's going to be too tight to get a truck and trailer in there and do the stuff we need to. So maybe just remove the fence from the south and the east and leave it like the northwestern side. Anyway, we'll do that sort of stuff. Might do it off camera and just let you guys know what I've actually done. But for episode number 9, we're here west of field number 1, just northwest of our home back there. So the local government has approved our proposal to build a huge solar farm area to the west of our field number 1. It's field 1 here, this is to the west. On the condition that we donate part of the power production back to the local community. So this build will be done in stages due to the high cost of the solar panels. So they're worth, if we go in and have a look, I think 125,000? Yeah, 125,000 for a solar panel. So these things, they're not overly huge, but they're worth a lot of money. So we've got a big area here. This area all here, which is going to be like a solar farm. So you can imagine how much money we're going to need to actually, plant a field full of these. So it's going to be done in stages. So our first stage, of course, is to clear the land. So we're going to have to cut down all these trees, which I've cut down one and a second one here. I have tested a few things out. I think our best option is going to be just to throw the stick straight in the back like the wood. So what we'll do is we'll just get stuck straight in now, trim some of these branches off, to start getting ready to chuck all this stuff in the back. It's going to be good practice for when we actually get up to our field number 12 up the top. Actually start cutting down our bigger trees. Not sure how we're going to go with unloading this, if it's going to work well or not. So actually I can't even see if it's actually given us, let's pick this one up, get it out of the way. If it's given us something to actually cut, so just chuck it in the trailer. Where's our other log we've already cut? Not you. There should be another one somewhere we've cut. Maybe it hasn't cut yet. Cut this one off. Oh, that'll do. I'm not going to cut those in half. Looks like some antlers. I might have to jump in and trim it, I think. Jump back out. Doesn't like the idea of us, to say trimming that branch, but we've just done it. How big's this? We're definitely going to have to trim this one. Just cut it off there. Hopefully we can make it in. Probably should have got a smaller trailer, but there we go, in. So we've got the stump there, we've got another big tree here, which we can cut down, luckily. I even tried the auto load trailer, but because they're weird shaped branches, it's a little bit hard to actually get it to want to work properly. It's probably going to take us a little while to actually clear this field, so we might not cut down the entire field of trees. We'll just do it, as I said, we'll do it in stages. So might just get this little corner down here cleared, and then get some solar panels in, and then when we need to, we can come back and continue to cut down trees from the other areas. Just be careful that we don't try and cut something off we don't need to cut off. There we go, we'll start trying to cut some branches off now. It's going to give me a spot, there we go. The tree's probably going to roll to the left. after we cut this off. There we go. It's probably going to be too heavy to pick up, so I do have the wood chip mod. I think it might even be called the sawdust mod, which, as you can see there, when we cut the trees down, you've got leftover wood chips on the ground. So we can pick that up as well, chuck that in the trailer and tip that off and make some money out of it. Oop. That's something a bit different. Oh, did make it. Just going to try and throw it in. Should make it that time. There you go. Oh, this is still too heavy. We're going to have to cut that base into a few pieces then if these bits are too heavy already. Oh, Jesus. Really got knocked out by a piece of wood then. Oh, and again. I'm going to try and be smooth with the mouse, but not as easy as it looks. Cut this one down as well. Cut this limb off. Cut him up into pieces as well. So luckily the government's approved us using this land, which is land we own anyway, but they've approved us putting in like the solar panels and stuff. As I said, as long as we donate part of the power production back to the town. We're going to make money out of it, of course, but it's not just all for us. It'll be donated back to the grid part of it, and we'll still make money out of it. Sell part of the power back to the local government, but part will be donated as well. That's like a weird sort of shape there. It is a very weird shape. To cut this bit off as well, I think. Chuck these in. As you can see how long it's going to take to get the whole field done. It'll be easier if we could just cut it and throw it all in one, but we'll auto load a trailer. It's just a little bit difficult. There was a wooden trailer in 2015 Farm Sim that you could actually use, which would actually push the wood out the back of the trailer, which was actually pretty good. Whereas this one, I think we might have to jump in and chuck some of it out, because I don't think, oh Jesus, I don't think it's gonna tip out the back door properly. So we're gonna have to wait and see, I suppose. See what it's like once we get to the other end. Okay. Cut this bit here. I'm gonna fling up in towards our face. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna. Cut through this little bit. I shouldn't say little bit, it's a pretty thick bloody tree. Cut through there as well. This bit's going to be fairly heavy too, so we'll have to trim it down. Section it into a few pieces. Good if we had like a ramp we could run up and chuck these things in, but they seem to be going in okay, I guess. Could be a lot more difficult. So it could be a lower trailer, but if you have a smaller trailer, you're not going to get as much wood in, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. So what I want to do now is just drive forwards, backwards a couple of times and try and just move the logs around just so they sort of flatten themselves out. There we go, that'll do. Way too heavy, of course. So is that bit. Well, that might have been too heavy too. It's a pretty decent sized chunk. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this piece. It's probably going to have to be cut down pretty small, I think. Even this piece we'll have to cut in half. Yeah, I thought so. At least in half. I mean, nice, small, manageable pieces. Even purchased a wood chipper to try and use, but it didn't really want to. I didn't purchase it. I leased it just to test it out, but didn't really want to cut the smaller limbs, so it's a little bit difficult. Oh, there we go. Chuck this in. I'm not sure how much money we're going to get out of this, but it's all money in the bank that we can use for more solar panels and other stuff. I did download another mod. You guys might know that I am currently moving. I'm recording this after only uploading, I think, episode 1 and 2, because I haven't had internet for so long, but I'm still really enjoying playing it, so I'm way ahead of what you guys are currently seeing. But I had to use my mobile phone data to download a mod, sugarcane mod. So it took, I think it was 2 hours, just over 2 hours, to harvest half of those fields down the bottom left-hand corner of the map. So I did decide that even though I didn't want to, I got the mod which harvests a lot quicker the sugarcane. So that's going to help us a lot in the long run and save a whole heap of time. So the sugarcane field is ready to harvest again. I just haven't gone down to harvest it yet, so just been doing a lot of silage bales off camera. As you can see, we've got 1.2 million in the bank, so I've been doing a lot of silage stuff to get money to be able to move on to our next project, which is of course the solar farm. So we're already like nearly 15 minutes into the video already and still nowhere near clearing out this little section. So I'm thinking this little bottom section will be our first initial solar farm area, like just these three other trees, and sort of cut this little field in half, and that'll be like the initial start of the solar farm. Then we'll extend it again after that. I think we're still going to have to chop this thing up a fair bit. It's fairly heavy wood. Another piece somewhere, there we go. So I haven't brought, I don't know why it throws it. I haven't brought the cultivator and the plough. I've only brought the roller over because I'm only going to change the ground condition. I'm not actually going to turn it into a field. So I'm just going to, wow, I'm just going to change what the ground looks like and remove bits of grass and that sort of thing. So I'll see if we can get this stuff to move again. Just to level itself back out. That'll do, I think. We'll go down and cut down this smaller tree. Hopefully we can get it all cut up pretty easily. Got to be extra careful. You're trying to trim the branches off. If you hold it accidentally, it might actually start cutting a part that you don't want it to cut. So cut this little bit at the bottom, then we'll go and trim the branches as well. Just got it in. I'll make sure we're cutting the right parts. Not sure what that even cut then. Looks like it cut through the whole thing, which is good. So I know we've got a cover on this trailer, but I'm not. Oops, it's like the whole chunk. I'm not sure how it's going to go holding the wood actually in there, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got a whole heap of wood chips to come back and collect as well. I do have some wood chips in the back from when I was testing out the wood chipper, which didn't work how I'd like it to have worked. So We didn't go that way. How's this going? It's not too bad. Grab this other tree as well, cut him down while we can. Okay. Cut that limb off and see if it unbalances it. Yep, it did. Thank you. Oop. Pick this one up instead of throwing it. Stuff sort of, it's not going in properly. Trimming everything down. There we go. That bit off and that bit as well. Still got one more to go. Wow. I don't know if we're going to have enough room in the trailer. Gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Not sure what. I think it's trying to cut the piece underneath, which I don't want to cut. Okay, let's go throwing it around. Now throw it. There we go. Get that out of the way. That piece out of the way. There we go, it's better. More manageable size piece, not quite as heavy. Not too worried about how the wood looks now, as long as it goes in and stays in there, that's the main thing. You know, it's getting pretty full. Throw it up and in, knew it wasn't going to work. Take it around the other side and throw it in and have a look. We're getting quite full now. We'll do the same thing, get some speed up and stop it. Just to get it to level itself out a little bit. So might as well shut it down while we're there. Last tree, so we'll save the rest for later on because it's going to be a whole episode of just cutting trees down, I think. We don't move on to what we want to do next as well. Come on, cut. There we go. Cut some limbs. Cut this bit off. Find a spot to cut it. Didn't want to cut anything then. Let's move it out of the way. There we go. Did actually cut. I didn't think it did. Chuck that in. Oop. Oh, still throwing things around. This one, and then that should be it, I hope. I'm not sure, I can't really see the branch with it being the way it is. Let's grab that. No, it's still stuck together. There we go. Pick it up, drop it in. Another piece somewhere. Where is it? No idea, unless it did disappear. They do disappear sometimes because they've got to be a certain size before it for it to stay. They can disappear. But I can't actually see it anywhere. I think that's it. Let's put the cover on. Let's see if we can find. There's a stick there, just underneath us. Gonna get rid of some of these stumps while we're here. Jump out and see if I can grab that stick without cutting their arm off. There we go. I know all the cover's on, so that's not going to help. Where's he gone? There he is. Chuck it back in. Now it's a matter of finding the stumps. I did try and leave them a little bit higher than normal. There's part of a tree there, so I'll have to come back and get that as well. There's a stump, I think. Something. There's another stump. Is that it? Nope, I don't think so. I think we just ran over one and lost some stuff off the back. Cannot see where it is though. That might be it there. There we go. Alright, shut it down. Let's go and pick up these and throw them back in. I think there's that one other piece too that we need to pick up, which is over here somewhere. There it is. Still got a bit of grass on it, but I will. Or some leaves, I should say. Let's have a look around. Is there any tree stumps we've missed? We'll find out in a minute anyway when we use the roller, but alright, let's put the cover back on. Gonna park the grinder up there. Losing bits of tree everywhere. Let's just take what we can for now, I think. That'll be the way to go. So we're going up to the lumber yard, so it's pretty much just straight ahead. I know we shouldn't be driving through people's fields, but to save a little bit of time, try not to try not to worry about it, I suppose. So we've still got 627 litres of wood chips as well, so we need to go and unload this, come back and grab the wood chips. Then hopefully start getting the grass changed. Going to change it to meadow and see how it looks. It should look pretty good, I think. Starting to slow it down now so we don't have any incidents. So tip side left, got right or back. Thinking let's try right, why not? Just tip some wood chips on the floor, but hopefully these trees don't come out too bad. It's coming out pretty good. There's one that doesn't want to come out, one being stubborn, but there we go. Is that it? Beautiful. Worked better than I thought it would. They got some free wood chips too. They didn't even have to pay for them. So right, we'll head back now and pick up the wood chips. There's a few branches we'll just leave on the ground for now, I think, and I'll sort that out off camera because I don't want this episode going for 3 hours if I can avoid it. So you'll see we didn't get much money out of the wood, but you know, probably a couple of $1,000s I'm thinking, which is pretty good for trees that cost us nothing. So that's that's our field. It's only partially grown for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there. So we'll head back over here. You can see it's sort of struggling to load things in. I do have it on the highest graphics settings, so shouldn't be struggling quite that much, I don't think. We can shut that down. We'll jump in our little N series Vultra, which I'm not sure if you guys even know that we've got yet. So we don't have any more loans on trucks. We do own all the trucks that we've got at the moment, or tractors I should say. So we can pick up all these wood chips. Try not to miss any. There's heaps over here. Absolutely heaps. Chuck it all in the back. Not sure how much money we're going to make out of it, but said it's free, and it is a mod that you need to download if you want to get the free wood chips. When you actually cut things down, you can actually turn the wood chips on and off as well. You don't have to have it, even if you've got the mod. So if you want to clear a field out quicker without having to collect all the wood chips later on, you can do it without having that turned on. Not sure how many buckets we're going to get. It's like we're going to get a fair bit. Looks like there's a tree stump there. Or is there? Maybe it's just the wood chips that I'm getting stuck on. Hopefully we don't fill the trailer up before we get it all off the ground. We're getting a fair bit. You can turn it down as well. You can have it, I think I had a level 3, which is the highest level of wood chips. You can have it on level 1 if you want. Or, as I said, off. Level 2 for medium amount of wood chips. You don't have to have it as high as I did. Oops. And it helps if you actually get it in the trailer as well. It's always a bonus. Looks like it's getting quite full. Still not even halfway through the wood chips, I don't think. Do with a much bigger bucket. Oops, if you got the bucket on the ground, and we'd go a little bit slower. Pick up our mess off the ground as well once we're finished loading him up. Not far off finishing now, I don't think. A couple more buckets, I hope. For some reason, when you're actually trying to move the front loader attachment and you're driving, it sort of stutters and slows you down a fair bit for some reason. Getting very close to being full. Let's have a look. Is there any more spots I should say, that we've missed? Still a little bit behind us there. Shouldn't be far off. So we're just about done. That's it, the trailer's full, so let's grab bits that we've missed. So if there's anything else that we can pick up while we're here, it's not a great deal. Let's I'll stick it in the garden. Use it around the house later on. Maybe not. There we go. Unless he doesn't want us to let us tip it in there. Okay, so what I'll also do is I'll swing this around, take that off, leave it there because I want to use the bigger tractor for that. I think we haven't missed any stumps either, so that's a good sign. 21,000 litres of wood chips, so we're going to take it straight up and sell this as well. Then we'll come back down and get stuck into hopefully changing what the ground looks like. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far, and if you've got any ideas, leave it in the comments section, any ideas of things we should do. I've got a couple of other things that I'm thinking, so yeah, if you've got any ideas, leave it in the comments section, I'll see what we can do. Any ideas on changing areas around the map into something a little bit different, any new placeable mods that you have got that you could possibly use. So there's a lot of room here. We can cut all this down and turn it into something that we can use later on. Obviously we've got solar farm we're going to have set up. I want to do like a windmill farm at some stage when we can finally get a decent amount of money, that is, because they're I think 1.2 million each, so they're not cheap at all. So bring our wood chips straight in and sell these. We're not worth a great deal of money, but you get a lot for those like 4 or 5 trees that I cut down. So yeah, 10 grand, so it's like $2,000 a tree. It's pretty good. Can't complain at all. Still got a bit on the ground that they've got to come and clean up. So yeah, any ideas on, as I said in the previous episodes, placeable mods that you think we can use or you'd like to see in the game? Any ideas on changing some of this grassland into something that we could actually use? Preferably not just standard grass, because we've done that already with silage. We're doing a solar farm, hopefully a windmill farm. Any other placeable mods that we can actually make money out of? Put that in the comments section as well. I'm definitely open to ideas and suggestions and things we should do and things that you want to see, or even things that you've done that you would recommend that we do. So alright, let's head up here. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of room around this field because I do think we're going to need a lot just for when we're harvesting the field and that sort of stuff. We don't want to have things getting stuck and running into other things. So it's on meadow, it's on remove grass. That's exactly what we want. So we'll lower the roller, I'll reverse back a little bit. So that's the type of grass that I was after, something that looks like it's well taken care of. Obviously it probably looks completely different to the grass that's around, which is good. I mean, this solar farm is going to be worth an awful lot of money once we get it fully done. So I might go to here and then turn right and head straight across this way, and this can be like the start of the solar farm. Only a little tiny area, so I want to leave a little bit of a gap around that field. It's possibly big enough, I think. Even bring the the fence in a little bit. So where we are at the moment, I might go placeables. double gate. I'm thinking we want to try and have access from the side here, and that ground it does go really funny with using these textures. That's the only problem that I've really found. It's a little bit frustrating. So if we go around about here somewhere, there we go. So that's sort of the width that I want to have it. So like one roller width in from the side of the field is really going to be ideal, I think. So I'll just go straight up and turn around and head back down. Hopefully that it isn't going to look too out of place. Probably will look a little bit out of place, but it shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Just a little bit of grass there. I have no idea what that noise is supposed to be in the background. It only happens when you use certain equipment, and I'm not sure why it is when we use this bit of equipment as well. So, if you know what that noise is, leave it in the comment section, or what it's supposed to be for, because I really have no idea. There we go. Still got a lot of grass to change in the middle here. As I said, it's going to be an ongoing process. We're not going to get it all done this episode. We need to save a lot more money as well. But it's definitely all going to be a huge solar farm at some stage. I wonder if that removes... Yeah, it does. It actually removes that as well. Which is pretty cool. Come back down. We've still got a lot to do. Gate is already in place, so that's where we're going to start and just work our way around. We might fully enclose this area anyway, and then we can put a gate here and then put a gate up the other end, so we're sort of adding separate yards. We could even put like a dirt road sort of thing in the middle, so it's where like the we travel from yard to yard, so that might be another idea as well. Put that in and see how that actually looks. I did actually try to use 3 rollers at once using the same tool that we used for when we planted our saplings up the north end field 12, but the rollers wouldn't actually go to the ground and do what I was hoping they would, so it didn't work, unfortunately. It'd be good to have 2 or 3 of these at once, dragging behind you, so you can cover much more ground, especially when you're doing a decent area like this. You could always hire a worker with course play, but I'm not sure how that would go as well. It might look a little bit strange, especially if they overrun the field. It might look completely weird. So we're nearly done, haven't got much more to go. We're up to nearly 40 minutes, so I said it's going to be an ongoing process. We told the local government that it's not going to be, you know, the whole field's not going to be filled up straight away. It's going to take us a fair while to get all the solar panels in, so we'll do what we can at the start, put as many as we can in, and we'll slowly build on it. And the more we have, the more power we can donate to the local community and keep things running. Just about finished, we're not far off. Got missed a little bit there. So what I want to do quickly is lift this up. Let's go through bright dirt, grass field, asphalt, sand, concrete, needles, grass, gravel. Let's do gravel. Oh, that's pretty good. So we go like a gravel field through here and sort of wind it a little bit. We'll put our next gate just in the inside of that. So this can be like our sort of our road that goes from yard to yard. There we go. All the way back to the fence, and then we'll have to obviously open the fence and put a little bit of the gravel through. So go back to meadow, there we go. Just finish off what we were doing before. There we go. That's going to look pretty cool, I think. Something a little bit different. Not having it all grass and having it like a little road that we drive through. So obviously, you guys, you don't need to do this sort of stuff. You can just I should say, stick the solar panels in the ground anywhere you want. You don't actually have to, turn any area into grass like this, or plough or cultivate or any of that sort of stuff. You can just, stick them anywhere. But I sort of want to make it look like it's freshly built, well taken care of, something completely different to the original map. Something that no one else is going to have, something that's unique to just our Let's Play series. So hopefully you guys can appreciate the amount of effort that we're going to do this sort of stuff. I'll leave those few little patches of grass there, they won't matter too much. Alright, let's swing around and see how much of this we can actually get. I'll change it to gravel, which is somewhere. There we go. I think we're going to have to open the gate, lift that up before we end up with gravel everywhere. That'll be fine. Shut him down, leave him there. We'll shut these gates back up if they want to go eventually somewhere. There we go. So we'll go into placeables and quickly go to the solar panels. So of course the idea is to have a few placed in here. We don't want to have them too close together as well, so somewhere like that, and like this. They don't have to be, lined up perfectly or anything. You just sort of stick them anywhere we want. So that's probably going to be the initial start of what we're after. Ooh, don't have enough money, so there we go, out of money already. So I knew it wouldn't take much and would be out of the cash. So I think we're going to have to be pretty careful with fences here because of the way that the ground goes. So make sure that one goes in. Bring it around here like that somewhere. There we go. Keep bringing it up towards the other end. Try and get it as good as we can in the center of the other posts. That's one of the more challenging things. I know you guys are probably thinking, I've already seen you use these fences before, but these fences are pretty cool. I do actually like these. So I might do something a little bit different here. Put it at a bit of an angle. I'm not sure. You might have to go back and put in a single fence panel. I think we will, and then put in like a double gate as well. Double gate. So it opens outwards again. There we go. Put in a double panel. Into there, and then see how bad that is when it's actually going downhill. So let's go back to the single fence panel, because of the amount that it actually drops down that hill. It's going to look really weird. Cut it back a little bit. There we go. It should be okay now, I think, once we actually sort of have it square back up. Let's go back to a double panel. Still a little bit high and out of whack at some points, but it's not too bad, I suppose. We need to get this fence to come straight out, so we have to turn around a little bit, make sure we're putting it in the right spot. You can have the post coming out of the post, but anyway. Put that there. Hopefully we can get a single fence panel in there without it looking too funny. Not quite. How about, can we put in a shed? No, it's probably too big. A little small shack. It's a little bit close. Okay, let's go garage. We'll try and... Oh, I don't want to sell that one. Get rid of that one. Go back in and we can go shop. We'll try the small shack. So the big double doors are that way. For some reason it doesn't want us to place it anywhere near where we'd like it to go. Okay, let's not worry about that. Let's go back into these and see if we can get this to line up a lot better than it did before. Is that better? Not quite. Get that. How about this one? Still about the same. We put it in there, and then we can try. I'll cover it with an oak tree. How does that look? It does look a little bit weird, but we can possibly go in and put in. I know we've already got one of these. We probably don't really need one here, but where's the front door? On this side. How about that? How does that look? Sort of. Yeah, blocks it a little bit. It's not too bad. So there we go. There you have it. I've got a tree over there which isn't going to affect us too much. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 solar panels in. Costs us a lot of money, as you can see. So the next thing is like wind energy converter, which is 1.2 million. It's going to be a fairly hefty price. So what I was thinking, we might just chuck in a few more trees around the back here, make it sort of stand out, look a bit different. There we go. I don't mind the look of that, actually. It does actually look pretty good. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed it and enjoyed the idea of us actually putting in a solar farm. Obviously it's nowhere near complete yet. Still got a lot of stuff to go, but if you enjoyed it and you want to see us to continue the solar farm on a lot more, leave a like and leave a comment, as I said, with any other placeable mods that you'd like to see, any ideas you've got, and also if you want to see more solar farm stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to spit it out properly. Subscribe button. Hit the bell next to it to receive a notification every time I upload. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. This has been Brito's Gaming. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.